Hi, good day everyone. So today we will be doing our summary breakdown of number 4 paper 2 questions. Now this number 4 paper 2 questions is generally our relations and functions, not graphs, relations, functions, and then they give you like equation of a line, midpoint of a line, equation of a line, midpoint of a line, gradient of a line, how to prove that a line is parallel, or how to prove that a line is perpendicular, those type of things. Right? That is basically what is being asked for in number 4. So number 4, we need to know how to do relations and functions. Hold on, that is too big. Relation and functions. So this is the topic being tested. Topics tested would be relations and functions, right? The next thing would be inverse of a function. The next thing is composite functions. The next thing we have to do is relations of an inverse of a function, composite functions, length of a line, midpoint of a line, gradient of a line, length, midpoint, gradient, right? And then the next thing would be prove that two lines are parallel or perpendicular. These are your topics that I have noticed that is being tested for number 4. So let's start with inverse of a function and then go down, right? So to find the inverse of a function, and I will not be doing examples here when we are doing the past papers, you will see the examples, right? So inverse of a function, this is done in 3 simple steps. Step 1, make the function be equal to y. Step 2, interchange x and y, meaning wherever you see x you put y, wherever you see y you put x, right? And then step 3 would be make y the subject, right? The answer obtained is the inverse function. Right? Does everybody remember this? Hold on. Composite functions. Right? Composite functions. And what does this mean? It means one function is obtained by combining more than two or more functions. Now for CSEC level, they'll just give you 2 functions. You have to combine 2 functions, right? What you will have to do in this is and we will see this as an example in later questions, okay? Right, so that was composite function. Length of a line, midpoint of a line, gradient of a line. Are they giving it? No, they're not giving you a formula sheet. Oh, an equation of a line. Sorry. Next one is equation of a line. Alright, so for length of a line, let's go. For length of a line, right, for length of a line, the formula that you have to remember is the square root of the difference of your x2 minus x1 plus all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Once you find the square root of that, that is the formula for length of a line. Okay? Um for midpoint of a line, it is your midpoint means in the middle, right? Your midpoint is x2 plus x1 all over 2 and y2 plus y1 all over 2. Now please note coordinates are always in the form x first and then y. Okay? Um, for gradient of a line, we will the sign for gradient is m. Come on, m, right? So m, let's just m is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then for equation of a line, now equation of a line is always in the form y is equals to mx, equation of a straight line I should say, plus c, right? What you need to remember is m is your gradient of the line. M is equals to your gradient, and C is your y-intercept. What does that mean? S-E, intercept. Right. Inter CEPT. Which means that x is equals to 0 and y is equal to some coordinate, right? And that your y-intercept, yeah, would be whatever coordinate it is. And whatever that coordinate is would be your y-intercept, okay? What would be what C is equal to. Alright, now you can either substitute these values and make C a subject and then um then you will put it y is equals to whatever the gradient is, x plus that y-intercept. Or you can use this formula, which I'm not too fond of, but y minus y1 is equals to m by x minus x1. And that is the formula. Once you remember this, then you have to put it in the format of y is equals to mx plus c. Right? And that is how you would get the equation of your line. Do we remember these formulas, everyone? Now, the next thing that we will be doing is parallel lines. If they tell you that two lines are parallel, two straight lines I should say, when two straight lines are parallel, right? When two straight lines are parallel, the gradient is equal, right? So they have the same gradient. They may have different y-intercept and stuff, but we know that their gradients are equal. And when two lines are perpendicular, the product of the gradients is negative 1. So what that means is um, the gradient of your first line multiplied by the gradient of your perpendicular second line would be negative 1. Once you understand that, you can find the gradient of your perpendicular. I don't want to say bisector, but say perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines mean two lines intersect at 90 degrees. And those are the things that you have to remember to do number 4. Alright, so this one here is January 2025. Right, let's read the question. The question says a line segment joins points C and D. Calculate the midpoint of a line. Now, immediately you would say, well, I have coordinates C and D, and my midpoint, if we recall, is equals to x2 plus x1 over 2 and y2 plus y1 over 2. Right, let's put this on black. So you would have, it does not matter which one you choose as group 1 and group 2. If this is C is group 1, this will be x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Right, so this would be 7 plus negative 5 over 2 and 2 plus 6 over 2. 7 plus 5 is equals to 2 over 2, which is equals to 1. And 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 over 2 is 4. So it's 1, 4 would be my midpoint of line CD. And that is a easy, how much marks is this, boy? That's an easy 2 marks. Are we okay so far? Now they said find the gradient of the line segment CD. I'm just going to take these values and put it down there. Right. So I know C and D is that. Right now, my gradient of my line, the reason why this is so many marks is because they're not giving you a formula, right? My gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Again, it does not matter which one you choose as x1 and x2 or y2, y1 and y2, right? Doesn't matter, right? So my gradient would be 2 minus 6 over 7 minus 5. 2 minus 6 is equals to negative 4. 7 minus 5, 7. That means 7 plus 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's minus 4 over 12, which is minus 1 over 3. So the gradient of this line is negative a third. Everybody good so far? Alright, and that is an easy 2 marks. Let's read the rest of the question. Oh, they didn't even bring relations and functions. They just brought questions. Determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector of CD. Now, we know that the gradient of CD, so let's just put the gradient, is equal to negative a third, right? When they say perpendicular bisector, it means that there was line CD and it intersected this line at your midpoint. Yes, because bisector means it's splitting that line CD at your midpoint. So the coordinates that we know would be 1, 4. Just 1 and 4, no negative right here. So your gradient, not for your gradient of CD is negative 1/3, and your midpoint, or the line that the perpendicular bisector would intersect, would be 1, 4. So we're just going to put that 1, 4. So my gradient of my second line of my perpendicular bisector would be m2 by m1 is negative 1. So that is m2, which is the gradient of the line, that the perpendicular bisector, multiplied by negative a third is equal to negative 1. So m2 would be negative a third divided by, oh gosh, sorry, divided by negative a third, which would be minus 1 multiplied by negative 3 over 1, which is equals to positive 3. Yeah? So now that we know this, my gradient is equals to 3 and we have 1, 4, we're going to put it in the line y is equals to mx plus c. And I'll use the next formula. So this is x, this is y, and this is my gradient. So I'm going to put 4 is equal to 3 by x, which is 1 plus c. I want to solve for c, so that's 4 is equals to 3 plus c, so c is equals to 3 minus 4, so c is equals to negative 1. So my equation for my perpendicular bisector would be y is equals to m, which is 3x negative 1. And that would be my answer for this. And this is 3 marks, guys. So it's just general knowledge that you have to remember, and you'll be good. If you don't like this way, we can use y minus y1 is equals to m by x minus x1. Right? So y minus, this would be y1, which is 4, is equals to 3 by x minus x1, which is 1. So it's y minus 4 would be 3x minus 3. So y is equals to 3x minus 3 plus 4. So y would be, hold on. I made a mistake, guys. In this part here, I carried across 4. You're not supposed to carry across 4, you're supposed to carry across 3. So this would have been, you carry across 3 over the side. So c would have been 4 minus 3. So c is equals to positive 1. So I would have got y is equals to 3x plus 1. And that's how you would get the same answer here. 3x minus 3 plus 4 is plus 1. And that would be my answer for this question. Are we good so far? Yeah. If you want to use this formula. Correct. This is just a formula to get this. Or so there are two ways. You can do this way. You substitute your values to get c, and then you put it in the format y is equals to your gradient x plus whatever c is equal to. Or if you want it one time, you can use this formula y minus y1 is equals to m by x minus x1. The only reason I would not encourage, well, you can do it if you're good at remembering formulas, is that you already need to know that the equation of your line is always in the format y is equals to mx plus c. So because you already have that knowledge, you don't have to remember another formula. But it doesn't matter whichever one you do, just make sure that you do it carefully, right? You'll get the same answer at the end. And again, perpendicular bisector means your gradient is negative 1. So my gradient for CD was negative a third. So the gradient for the perpendicular bisector of CD would be negative a third multiplied by the gradient of that perpendicular bisector is equals to negative 1. So you know that the gradient of that perpendicular bisector line is 3. Right? And then you substitute it into this. Y1 4, because they told you perpendicular bisector, so you know it intersects CD at 1 4. Right? And that is how you would do this question. Next question, another line AB is parallel to CD and passes through point 0, 1. AB is parallel to CD and passes through 0, 1. Write down the equation of AB. So we know that CD, the gradient, is equal to negative a third. So if AB is parallel, the gradient of AB would also be negative a third, because again, parallel lines have the same gradient. Also, we know the coordinate is 0, 1. So again, equation of your line, you can put it y is equals to mx plus c, which would be, this is x, this is y. 1 is equals to minus a third by 0 plus c. I'll talk about this one just now. So therefore, c is equals to 1, because a third minus 0 is 1. So therefore, my my gradient would be y is equals to m, which is negative a third x plus 1. Or you can do it in the next format, which is y minus y1 by m by x minus x1. But that point that they gave you told you that my y-intercept was 1. Because y x is equals to 0. So immediately you didn't even have, you'll just have to say your y-intercept is 0, 1. So therefore c is equals to 1. Right? What, only because they gave you that x is 0, eh? So when you say c, we already know the gradient. So you could have just said y is equals to negative a third x plus 1. And that is the answer for this. So if you remember that once they give you a coordinate and x is equals to 0, your y value is your y-intercept, or c. Do we understand that, guys? And that is a total of 9 marks. Was this question easy or what? Yeah? So it is this number 4 is very easy to get your marks, sir. A rectangle QRS has a diagonal PR where P is point negative 310 and R is point 4 negative 4. Calculate the length of a line. Remember I told you that length of a line is equal to the square root of open bracket x2. Is it minus? Yeah, minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. So this is x, y, 1, 1, x, y, 1, 1. So x2 is 4 minus 3 squared plus y, which is negative 4 minus 10 all squared, is equals to the square root of 4 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 squared plus minus 4 minus 10 is minus 14 squared, which is equal to the square root of 49 plus 14 squared, negative 14 squared is 196, which is equal to the square root of, you use a calculator, 49 plus 96. 49 plus 196 is 245. The square root of 245 is 245 is equal to 15.6 units to 1 decimal place. Right, let's just make sure that is correct. Open bracket. Open bracket. So we're gonna put, this is what, if you wanna do everything in your calculator at once, let me put it in red. No, I'll put it in green. Your calculator, you're gonna press the square root sign. You're gonna put open bracket, then open bracket, 4 subtract negative 3 to the power of 2 plus open bracket minus 4, not subtract 4 and minus 4, minus 4 subtract 10 to the power of 2, and then you're going to close the brackets like this. That tells the calculator I need you to solve what is minus 4 minus 10 squared and 4 minus 3 squared first. Then you're going to add those, and when you add that, then you're going to find the square root of that value. So square root of open bracket and open bracket again, 4 minus negative 3 close bracket squared close bracket squared plus open bracket minus 4 minus 10 close bracket squared. Then you're going to hold on now, guys. Close brackets, and you will get the answer 15.6, so you know that this is correct. Are we good so far? Then they ask you find the equation of the line. Equation of a line. I just need the coordinates of P and R. So P 10 negative 310, and r is 4, negative 4. So equation of line y is equals to mx plus c, right? So we need to find the gradient first, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is 4 minus, no, negative 4 minus 10 over x2, which is 4 minus minus 3, minus 14 over 4, that is 4 plus 3, which is 7, so the gradient is negative 2, right? So you're going to choose, when you're doing something like this, you can choose any coordinate that you want. You could choose P or R, that's up to you. So I'm just going to use P, that's 10 is equals to M, which is negative 2, by X, which is negative 3, plus C, which is 10, is equals to 6 plus C, so C is equals to 10 minus 6, so C is equals to 4. So therefore, y would be equal to negative 2x plus 4. And that is going to be your answer. Or you can use the next one, which is y minus y1 is equals to m by x minus x1. You can choose whichever coordinate. This one I chose 3 and 10. Let's use this one. So y minus minus 4 is equals to m, which is negative 2, by x minus 4. Right, so that's y plus 4 is equals to negative 2x plus 8. So that would be y, if I carry this across here, would be negative 2x plus 8 minus 4. So y would be negative 2x plus 4, because 8 minus 4 is 4. And you see how I get the same answer no matter what coordinate I use, I am going to get the same answer. Are we good with this, guys? Everyone understands this? Yeah, okay. Right, this one here, they gave us a function question. Find its simplest form. So they told you f of x is 3x plus 1 and g of x is x squared, or x to the power of 2. What is f of x minus 2? If we equate it with f of x, we can clearly see that your x values in your function f of x would be equals to x minus 2. So this would be f of x minus 2 would be 3 by, instead of x, I put an x minus 2 plus 1. So this would be 3x minus 6 plus 1, which is 3x minus 5. So this answer of f of x minus 2 is 3x minus 5, and that is your answer. Are we okay so far? Then they tell you they want to know what is g of 3x plus 2 plus 10. We know that x is going to be 3x plus 10, plus 2, sorry. So when they say x squared, that would be, excuse me, g of 3x plus 2 would be 3x plus 2 to the power of 2 plus 10, which is, if we know about perfect squares, guys, what you can do is you square the first one, 3x by 3x. 3 3s are 9, that's 9x squared. And then you're going to find plus 2 by 3x by 2. This is 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, so this would be 12x. And then you square the next one, which is plus 4. Plus 10, so this would be 9x squared plus 4 and 6. 4 and 12 is 16x plus 10. And that is your answer for this one. Do we understand this, guys? No, 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 not plus 10. Sorry, my bad. 4 plus 10 is 14. So plus 14. plus 14. Sorry. It is 9x squared plus 12x plus 14, and that is going to be your answer. Are we good so far, everyone? And that's a total of 9 marks. Now, these questions were a little bit tricky, but it should be okay to do, right? May, June 2024. Are we good so far, guys? Okay, I want you guys to go. Oh, hold on. This is January 2024. So, f of 4 just tells you if you equate it with, obviously you would not use h of x function, you'll use f of x function. We can clearly see that x is equals to 4, right? So f of 4 would be 2 minus 5 by 4, which is 2 minus 20, which is equals to minus 18. Right? And then h of 0, we'll use the h of x equation, equate it with h of x. H's are the same, so obviously x would be equals to 0. So h of 0 would be 5 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Alright, and then this last one is a composite function. So let's just look at it. I am going to write it. F of x is equals to 2 minus 5x. H of x is equals to 5 to the power of x. Right? So when you have a composite function like this, what I like to do is I like to separate the two functions. So I have f of h of minus 2. Let's do the brackets first. H of minus 2 equated with h of x. We can see x is equals to minus 2. So h of x, so h of minus 2 would be 5 to the power of minus 2, which is equals to 1 over 25. Yeah, let me make sure. 5 to the power of minus 2 is 1 over 25 or 0.04, whichever one you want to put. Alright? So therefore, this would be equals to f of, instead of putting h of minus 2, you're going to put the solution, which is 1 over 25, or you could put f of 0.04. Alright? So f of x equated with f of 0.04. We can see that x is equals to 0.04. Right? So f or 1 over 25, whichever one that you put. Right? So f of 1 over 25 or 0.04 would be 2 minus 5 by 1 over 25, which is 2 minus 5 by 1 over 25. 5 going to 25 5 times. So it's 2 minus 1 over 5, which is equals to 1 and 4/5. And or if you put 0.04 by 5, that is 4 multiplied by 0.0. It's 4? No, it's 5. Sorry. 5 multiplied by 0.04 is 0.2. So 2 minus 0.2 would be 1.8. And 1 and 4/5 is also equals to 1.8. So it doesn't matter if you want to put it as decimal or fraction, it's all up to you, right? And this is how you would do this. Anybody got all 3 correct, or did you guys get some correct? What is going on? Okay. Then let's do, this is the last set, right? I will look through the past papers to see if there's anything else that you need me to do, but other than that, we should be good, right? So if they say f inverse x, this is to find the inverse function. So we know that f of x was equal to, what was f of x, guys? 2 minus 5x. I need to zoom in and shift this to the side. 2 minus 5x. 2 minus 5x. Right? So remember, it's a three-step process. Let your function be equal to y. So y is equals to 2 minus 5x. That's step 1. Step 2, interchange x and y. Write it down. Interchange x and y, which would be x is equals to 2 minus 5y. Then make y the subject. So again, go backwards from BODMAS. We always want our unknown to be positive, so I'm going to carry across, subtract 5y. So I'll have x plus 5y is equals to 2. Then you carry across the x here, so you have 5y is equals to 2 minus x. Right, so you carry across the subtraction, you carry across the addition. Does it have multiplication? Yes, the relationship between 5 and y is multiplication. So y would be 2 minus x divided by 5. So therefore, f inverse x would be 2 minus x all over 5. And that is going to be your answer for this one. Everyone understands? Okay, this is why I was wondering why this is so much, thinking how much max is this. So we know this is f of x is equals to 2 minus 5x. They told you f of x is equals to a plus bx, and they want to know what is the values of a and b. So a would be the constant and b would be the coefficient of x. This is a composite function. So again, when I have composite functions, I like to put it, separate the two functions. Right? So this would be equals to f of, open bracket, 2 minus 5x. Why? Because f of x is 2 minus 5x. Everyone understanding and seeing that? Now, if we equate f with 2 minus 5x with f of x, we can clearly see that x in this function is 2 minus 5x. Okay? So wherever you see x, here you're going to put 2 minus 5x. So it is going to be f of 2 minus 5x is going to be 2 minus 5, and instead of x, you put in 2 minus 5x. Right, the relationship between 5 and x is multiplication, so that's 2 minus 5 2s are 10 plus 25x, so that is equal to 25x minus 8, and that will be your answer for this question here. Do you understand this? And that is 3 marks, guys. Oh, hold on. We ain't done. They ask you to determine the values of a. So if we equate this with a plus bx, and if you guys recall, I told you b is the coefficient of x. So b would be equals to 25, and a is the number that starts by itself. So a would be negative 8. Okay, not just 8. The sign, it also goes with the sign. The sign in front of the constant 8 is negative. So that is why a is negative 8. Do we understand this, everyone? Alright, and that is for January 2024. Now, let's pause this record. Now, this is May, June 2023. When is a function undefined, guys? When is something undefined? When it is divided by 0. So if I want to make f of x undefined, I have to make it be equal to divided by 0. So something over divided by 0. So if I know that f of x is equals to 3 over x plus 2, and I want to make this undefined, I'll have to make the denominator be equal to 0. Right? So I'll say x plus 2 is equals to 0. So x would be negative 2. So when x is negative 2, this function is undefined, because when x is negative 2, you'll get 3 over 0, and anything divided by 0 is undefined. Do you understand this? These are pretty easy, so I'm not going to go through this. I'm not going to do this as either. Alright? Now, I'll look at this. This is Jan. I'm just going through it very briefly because those are things that you should be able to do during the past questions. I saw that you guys can do functions and those things, right? X-intercept on line L. We're looking at line L. X-intercept means where it intersected the x-axis. So the coordinates would be right here, which is x is 6, y is 0. So your x-intercept for line L would be 6, 0. Do you understand that, guys? Your y-intercept for line M is where line M intersects your y-axis, so that would be here, which is negative x is 0 and y is negative 2. That is the answer for this. Equation of the line x. So they told you that the equation of the line x plus 2y minus 6 is equal to 0. Find the value of k when given to the point 9k on line L. So if they gave you that, that means 9 is equals to my x values and my y values equals to k. They want to find k, so you're going to make k the subject, right? Substitute these values. That's 9 is equals to 2 by k minus 6 is equals to 0 plus. Right? So that is 9 minus 6 plus 2k is equals to 0. 9 minus 6 is 4 plus 2k is equal to 0. So 2k would be negative 4. K would be negative 4 divided by 2. Hi? 9 minus 6 is not 4. 9 minus 6 is 3. Thank you. I don't know where I get that. It's not 4, it's 3. Right. This is 3. So 2 would be negative 3. So k is negative 3 divided by 2. So k would be 1, negative 1.5. Right? Or you could even check the thing. This is line. Find the value of k. So this is for line L. Line L, when x was 9. This is line L when x was 9. If you look here, this coordinate right here, and you go right across, you will see that is 1.5. If you zoom in really, hold on, now let me zoom in so you guys could see. So you could have used your graph again for this, right? They told you it's line L. If you go right across here, you'll see that's 1.5. You'll see that is in the middle. Let's go from here, make this smaller. From here, go right across. That is actually 1.5. You guys seeing that? So if you want, you could have used your graph to solve it. Or you did they say show all working? Or you could say using graph k is equal to negative 1.5. Right? Find the equation of line M in the form of, so first off, line M, right? To find the equation, we need to know, we know the y-intercept. The y-intercept, or C, is the y-intercept. I need to zoom in. Hold on, huh? Right. Right. We know that C would be equal to your y-intercept, which is equal to, was it negative 2? Yes. C would be negative 2. Right? The next thing that we need to know is we need to know what is your gradient. Now to find your gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You use this and you want to get a coordinate that is that on line M. M, right? That's M? Yeah, M. Yeah. Now, I would advise, do not look at points that You're gonna have to find a decimal and stuff. Please don't do that. If I look at if I look at this coordinate right here, I can see that x is equals to 3 and y is equals to 4. So I'm going to use 3, 4 as one coordinate. And I can also use negative 2, 0 if I wish, right? Well, 0, negative 2. Is there any, or you could have used this line here, which is x is 0, no, y is 0. So this would have been 1, 0. It all depends, right? But we're looking for the 2 points that are furthest apart. You could have even used, can I use this? Yeah, you could have even used negative 1, negative 4. It does not matter, you're just looking for the points that are furthest apart. I'm going to use 0, negative 2, and 3, 4. 0, negative 2, and 3, 4, right? 0, negative 2, and 3, 4. So m is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. This would be 4 minus 0 over 3 minus minus 2, which is equals to 4 over 3 plus 2, which is 5. So the answer for my gradient is 4 over 5. So my equation of my line is going to be y is equals to 4 over 5x minus 2. And that is the answer for this. Do you understand? Show by calculation that line L and line M are perpendicular. Now to do this, we need to find the gradient. The gradient of line L, which we found just now, no, this is M. Line M is equals to 4 over 5. Line L, we already know the equation of your line for line L. Look, they gave us it x plus 2y minus, so x plus 2y minus 6 is equals to 0. If I put it in the format y is equals to mx plus c, I will get, I'm going to make y the subject, so I carry across my subtraction, so that's x plus 2y is equals to positive 6. Then I carry across my add 6, so that's 2y is equals to 6 minus x. Is it minus 6? Hold on. I made a mistake here, guys. Um, yeah, I made a mistake here. If I use my y values as negative 2 and 4, that's not what I put here. So my gradient would be 4 minus minus 2 over 3 minus 0, which is equals to 6 over 3, so that is 2. That's what I want to know. It was equals to 2, right? Am I doing something wrong here? I'm supposed to get a third. Right? That's 3. This is what I'm supposed to get, right? I have method 1 and method 2 here. I use 3, 4, and then negative 1, negative 4. I found my gradient to be 2, which is correct, right? So my equation of my line is going to be this. So it doesn't matter, you realize that I use coordinates 0, negative 2, and 3, 4, and I'm still getting 2, right? Then, when you go down to the next question here, oh, hold on, X off this page. Right, so I am going to use this. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Alright. When two lines are perpendicular bisectors, the gradient 1 by gradient 2 would be negative 1. I know that gradient for m is 2 and gradient for L is negative a half. How did I get that? I have x plus 2x minus 6. I carried across positive negative 6 to get minus 6. Carry across this. And then I had to carry across 2y. Oh, what is really be going on with my head, boy? Right, so I'm going to get y is equal to 6 minus x over 2, which is the same thing as saying 6 over 2 minus x over 2. And if I were to separate this, I'll get minus a half by x. So I know that my gradient for line L would be negative a half. And if I multiply the two, I'm going to get negative 1. So because they did say to prove that. So if I multiply the gradient of line L by the gradient of line M, I am going to get negative 2. Do we understand this, guys? Or are we confused? Right, this question. Line L and line M represent the graph of pair of simultaneous equations. Using the graph on page 10, write down the solutions for the pair of the equation. So you look at your graph, look to see where they intersect. They intersect at this coordinate right here. This coordinate right here, which is x is 2 and y is 2. So my solution would be x is equals to 2 and y is equals to 2, and that would be the answer for this. Do we understand that, guys? Great. Let's see if there's any more. No. I don't see that there should be a problem. Oh shucks, I forgot about this. This question here, this is an inequalities question which comes as number 8. I don't know how they brought this here. Let's look at this question and then let me just make sure. Did they ask you to find the inverse of g of x? No? So is everyone... Oh, let me do January 2019, which is if you have to find the inverse of something that has two sets of x's. Are we seeing that, guys? So when they say for which the value of x or which is undefined, that means we want this to be divided by 0. So 5 minus x is equals to 0. So 5 minus x is equals to 0. So carry this across. 5 is equals to x. Right? So x is equals to 5. An expression of f inverse x. So again, let y be equals to f inverse f of h of x, which would be 2x plus 3 over 5 minus x. Right? Then you interchange into x and y. Do not write how shorthand I am writing. Write how the word interchange x and y, or exchange x and y, whichever one you want to put. So that's x is equals to 2y plus 3 over 5 minus y. We want to make y the subject. Make y the subject. Now, because there are two sets of y's, at some point you're going to have to factorize, okay? So first you're going to carry across divide by, which turns to multiply by. So that's x by 5 minus y is equals to 2y plus 3. So that's 5x minus xy is equals to 2y plus 3. I want to put all the y's on one side and all the other terms on the side. So I'm going to carry this on this side. And do I want negative? No, I want y to be positive. So let's carry this on this side and in this on this side. So I'm going to have 5x minus 3 is equals to 2y plus xy. Because there are two y's, I'm going to factorize it. So 5x minus 3 is equals to y by 2 plus x. Right? I want to make y the subject because the relationship between y and this bracket is multiplication. If I carry this across, y would be 5x minus 3 divided by 2 plus x. So h inverse x is going to be 5x minus 3 by 2 plus x, and that is your answer. Do we understand this, guys? So when you have a function that has two sets of x, one on top and one at the bottom, please note or remember that you have to factorize it at some time. Right? I'm not seeing anything else that you should not. The rest of stuff you should be able to do. Is everyone comfortable with number 4 now? I don't want to do all because I'll take the whole session to do number 4, and I'm really trying not to do that, right? So Carissa, Jelani, Natalia, Celia, and Joshua, are we good with us now? Cecilia, put a thumbs up. Right, Natalia, Jelani, and Carissa, we good? Wait, are you guys saying something? Is my mic off? Hold on, huh? Okay, repeat. Somebody just say something, please, because I don't know if my mic not working, because I saw Jelani and Carissa was talking and I didn't hear anything. Yeah, I'm hearing, you know. Are you good, Jelani, with these questions? And Carissa? Okay. So, are we confident and okay with number 4? I don't want to move on unless you guys are... Are you guys good with this? So the rest of them should be pretty easy. And you see that they're repeating quite a bit, right? It's not like they're having anything new. I want to know. Do you guys want me to send this what I did, or you guys just want all the answers? I don't even know if I have the solutions for number 4. Well, all the solutions I should say just now, huh? Questions and solutions, no, not that. Past papers, paper 2. Oh no, this is just questions. Okay, let me look at number 8 to see if I should do number 8. Number 8 is, oh shoot, I need to teach this topic just now. Not teach it, I need to go through it. Now, so I'll end here today. We'll end this video for number 4.